Former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara, has expressed condolence to the government and people of Plateau State over the killings in Bokas, Mangu, and Barinkiladi local government area on Christmas Eve. Dogara, who paid a visit to the Governor Caleb Mofang in Jos, said he described Plateau people as peaceful, accommodative, and hospitable, and did not deserve the dehumanizing and unholy act inflicted on them, he said yesterday. He called for a holistic approach by all citizens across faith to halt banditry, terrorism, and criminal activities in all parts of the country. He also said it was time for the nation to rise collectively and stop the bloodshed. Governor Mufwang thanked him for the visit and said the true narrative of the killings in Plateau was not farmers' herders clash, but banditry and terrorism, which must be addressed in a more contest way. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Air Force has said that an airstrike had neutralized terrorists at the Parisu and location near Sambisa Forest, with similar strike killing insurgents at Tuban Agari within the Lake Chad region. Nigerian Air Force in a statement on Sunday said the feat was as a result of efforts by the air and ground components of Operation Hadikei in Borno State. It also said that 12 terrorists were neutralized in the strike and their logistics destroyed, thereby degrading their ability to attack soft targets and also the Nigerian troops. But the big question and the big story for today is, even with few successes, why is the situation not under control? Now, is it an issue of political will, or is it an issue of lack of manpower? When you look at these and more as it concerns the growing insecurity is what this edition of the big story is all about. Now, we're talking about growing insecurity. What approach to take? And that's what we're looking at as a major one today on the big story. We're talking about the growing insecurity and what approach to take. A lot seem to have arisen, especially after that unfortunate incident that happened on our Christmas Eve in Bokas, Mangu, and Barinkiladi area in Plateau State. But anyway, to help us talk about this and look at not just the political side, but also holistically at the legal side as well, as also what better approach to take, is no other person but Barrister Casey Omoirabo. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Well, same to you. Well, it was not a happy one for Nigerians, especially as we walk into the year. And funny enough, more sadness seems to be on the air. But every need for us to thank God that we're in 2024. Yes. But yeah, yes, let's return to how we started it in my introduction. Yes, the Nigerian Air Force said while the operation in Barishu was carried out on January the 5th of 2024, that of Lake Chad that executed about 12 terrorists or neutralized them was rather staged on January the 6th, 2024, which is a Saturday. But yet, between Christmas Eve and yesterday, we've lost about 300 lives. 41 persons were killed in Kaduna yesterday. Sad one in the morning. A pastor was involved, was also part of it. And I'm just really curious because let's look at it. 300 persons have died between the period of Christmas Eve to yesterday. And if you look at the deaths, it cuts across many states. Taraba, Kaduna, Katsina, Plateau, and a lot. But my question now is, are we winning the war against these non-state actors, or do you have a different and reserved view as it concerns us winning this war? I'm just really concerned. Are we winning this war?
Well, the truth is that we have a collective responsibility
about the security of our state. Security, you see, I'm not an expert.
Yes.
I'm a lawyer. But you see, no quack in security. Also in medicine, anything that'll make you safe, anybody can improvise.
Yes.
So the truth is that I do not know how serious our agencies are. I do not know what is stopping them. Because you see, When you read Obasanjo's book, Cutting the Drift, when there's a fifth column in the government, you find it difficult to work.
Okay.
If it is purely insecurity as by some aggrieved persons or some renegades,
you know what approach
it's easy to manage. Than when the people in government are fully involved. I remember Sonia Abacha once said, any insecurity that persists for more than 24 hours, check if government is involved. If that is correct, then we begin to look inward. And another thing is, in that same book, Cutting the Drift, Obasanjo said, there are people in government who ask the government to bring down that government. So as we begin to show people that, look, this is the plan of this government, I told you cannot lead us. Whereas at the cost of what they are complaining about. So indeed, with that thing that happened on Christmas Eve, I don't always believe like local police will always do. They will go to a scene of incident after the robbery. They don't go before the robbery. They don't go during the robbery. Then they want to go there and arrest people who are eating by a restaurant, people who are babbing here. They will arrest them. The truth is that where can't we have information to work on?
Okay, now this brings
prevent this thing that we have.
But I will plead with you, please. Let's look at it. Does this mean the approach we are taking is different? And we are not taking the right approach. And the reason I ask, let's listen to what Dugara said yesterday while he visited Caleb Mufwang. He said the perpetrators of this violence are not just crazy, but they are very dangerous people. And the truth is that they would not just stop until we stop them. That's what he said. And it also means whatever, he also said that whatever means, as it concerns serious security approach, we have to do that as a nation. And not just deal with these people alone, but also deal with the sponsors that are also involved in it. So that brings me to ask, is it our approach that we are taking that is not yielding the result, or what? Because you raised it.
Yes, Mike, I was just coming when you stopped.
Yes.
The approach is one. The another thing is who is funding them. Who is paying salary?
Sponsors.
Yes, who is paying salary? Who is buying the bullets? Who is buying the guns? Is it the old gun that we've been using for almost 20 years and are still using? Is it the old bullet, who is supplying them? Are they hungry in the forest that nobody gives them food and they are still there and are even more powerful than our armed forces? These are questions that should be on the negotiation table. When the Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, Chief of Air Staff, the Commissioner of Police meet to brief on security, these are what they should ponder about. How many of our sponsors have we really arrested and prosecuted? How many of the so-called negotiators who come to collect bounty, come to collect ransom for them, have we asked them what is your relationship with them?
So we've not been able to deal with the perpetrators.
We haven't been able to deal with perpetrators at all. Like Dr. said too, how many of them have been prosecuted to conviction? And how many of them have, do you not remember that when they arrested, either they asked them to join the military or they are released? How can you arrest somebody who's killing your children and say you have taken to be your child? The people who were arrested will now recruit them to the military. Then it becomes easier for them to get formation. But among them are now within us. That's the problem. The people that is killing us, we took some of them and made them provide information, study our gargles, and begin to tell them where we are coming from, that nature of gun we are holding. And you think you win that type of war? You're not certainly not going to win because you have taken your enemy to your camp to spy for them. The issue is how many of them, like if you break a pipeline in Ogola here now, yes, your brothers will arrest you and take you to the police. Then do you know how many people are standing trial in Niger Delta for breaking non-existing pipeline? But how many people are standing trial for Boko Haram? How many people are standing trial for ISWAP? How many people are standing trial for banditry? None. When they arrested, they collect amnesty and they go home. They go back to the same forest.
Okay, now you just highlighted something that you feel is the reason why it continues. But let's look at another approach and another reason being given why this seems to be an endless war, an endless attack from the bandits. Now, just yesterday, a 28-year-old lady, female ammunition supplier, was arrested by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Kano on her way to supply not just weapons but drugs to bandits in Kakumi village of Katsina State, which we here at Quest has also investigated to find out that he is one of the major bandit leaders terrorizing not just Katsina but the outskirts of Kaduna itself. And she constantly supplied them with arms and also drugs, not just hard drugs but other drugs to also keep them going. Now, which brings me to ask, is it that the problem is beyond the approach? Because you just raised the approach. That's the reason we are still constantly having this problem. The approach the federal government is taking in dealing with these bandits and incorporating them into our social life on time. So my question, seeing what happened yesterday, do you feel that it is now a business for many and almost a way of life? Because we're not just talking of those that supply them with drugs, whether narcotic or not. We're even talking of those that supply them food, supply them water, supply them fuel, and fair enough, we even have informants cashing in on this way of life. So my question, apart from the approach, do you feel now becoming a way of life? Hence, it's now even more difficult to deal with because we have many dependents that would really not want this thing to end because they are using it as their source of living.
Thank you so much. You see, I wanted to even ask you, do you remember just last 2-3 years ago, a helicopter was sighted in Abraka here in Delta State?
Abraka?
Yes. They brought and gone on mission for the headers inside our bush. And after supplying, it moves off. And that rescue was traced to a prominent Nigerian in the military. What did we do today? Now you're talking of one singular isolated woman who is said to have collected drugs. Was it in her brazier? She's just an errand boy guy for somebody.
So you feel it is now
it's a massive it's a business for people, not just one person. It's an organization of its own. And people are feasting on it. I think you know Robado, former the current
NSA, National Security Advisor.
Before he became National Security Advisor to the President, has analyzed how Boko Haram came into existence. Okay. And he was part of it then. And it was made that time to harass the government of Obasanjo. And at the end of the day, when Buhari came to power, Buhari wanted to disband them, they refused.
But anyway, these are just mere speculation.
No, I'm not talking of what NSA.
Let's stick with the issue of business.
Okay, for the sake of this.
Yes.
But I was trying to say what the current national advisor to the president said in the mid-press, and not the speculation.
Okay.
So now that we are talking of one associated woman being arrested, do we have the will? What will become of that man? Kabiru that were arrested, where is she? Where is he? The other man that was arrested that was killing many soldiers and killing many police, that was arrested, where is he today? How many kingpins we have been told have been arrested? Which prison are they?
So you feel highly placed Nigerians are also totally involved in this?
It's not just highly placed. There is an orchestrated, there is an arrangement to oppress and take over the whole country by a group of persons. And in every village now, they are building their hamlets and seas. Are you seeing that our laws are being changed? Are you seeing that the inland waterway is now taking over? And everybody can now come through to your backyard anyhow?
Well, anyway, that's still mere speculation undermining the law.
So now
the Supreme Court gave that verdict yesterday. But I want us to still look at the business part of this and see, because let's still remember, Bello Matewale, the Minister of Defense, said just early December that it's now business.
Thank you.
Well, we're not just talking of local business, but international.
You tell me that the man is
international community, some even international persons are cashing in on this.
Yes.
So let's look at the business side and why that has made this linger.
The greatest employer in the whole world is crime. I'm sure you know. That is the greatest employer in the whole world.
They employ the whole judges, employ lawyers, employ police, employ army, employ armed forces. What are they doing to combat crime? So crime is greater than everybody benefits from it. If you look at it, when crime stops, all pastors will go, church will be closed down. All the policemen will go home. All the lawyers will go home. Judges will go home. But it will never stop. So the greater employer is crime. And for people diverting and into another angle of crime now, is, you know why we're concerned? Because it's cleaners. That's why people prefer Yahoo boys to armed robbers. You see, if you still...
But both of them are still crime.
Yes! I'm telling you people's preference these days. When you bring somebody to say Yahoo, it's a social crime. But when you say it's armed robber, it takes life. Capito. So people get frightened. So when we are talking whether people have made it a business and they are vegetating on it and they are getting dividends daily. Who sells the gun? Who sells the bullet? Who we are no longer talking of using Okada or Keke. We are talking of plane. When they begin to have their own airport, they begin to have private jet, and we don't know we're in trouble, the country is finished. We have taken politics too far. We are no longer involved in governance. Somebody has just been elected in 2027 already. Somebody just been elected in 2031. The problem is we no longer care about governance. We no longer talk about leadership. Even the followers are the worst. The moment your brother is elected councillor, we must come and build the house now. He must buy you a car. And the moment someone about say they want to be governor of those states, I tell ready. We belong to union. You will come and see us. That is the problem we have. Both the followers are not disciplined. Leaders are having a feed day because followers are never asking for accountability. So anybody does anything now, we're talking of the system to stop it. It's going to be difficult, not impossible. We have to have men of strong will. So
it's going to be difficult but not totally impossible?
No. We have to have men of strong will. Build strong institutions and not strong personalities. If we have strong institutions, when I was talking on ITV, I'm not here to campaign. I told man that if I become governor of Edo State, which I will be, come on the 12th day of November 2020.
I'll be sending you our bill as such campaign on our
when I become, either people will sit up or prepare to go to jail.
Okay, now let's sit with this issue because I'm really, really concerned about it.
Yes.
Like I said in my introduction, or my first question, we've lost 300 lives, all from Christmas Eve till of yesterday. 41 persons were killed in Kaduna yesterday, and a sorry state it is where we are. Okay, well, I'm just getting information from my PD that we need to go on a break. And when we come back, we'll continue our discussion. So I will look at the growing insecurity. And the question now being asked, what approach should we take? Should we go to self-defense, just like Fanala said, which will be a question we'll come back to ask. We'll come back to that question.
Or their wife or their children.
We'll come back to that question when we come back from this break and look at what better approach to take to deal with the growing insecurity.